and Sprouts that carries a lot of organic produce. So every store that we go into, we have the ability to buy organically. And it amazes me, when I talk to people and they tell me what their organic prices are where they live. And, we really enjoy. A lot of times if the regular crop-dusted broccoli is on sale, they've got certified organic on sale. Sometimes it's the same price. Sometimes it's 10 cents more.
Which ain't bad.
Yeah, but, people telling me about organic kale for $3 a pound. It's like $3 a pound. I can buy organic kale, $3.50 a pound. I mean $1.50 a pound. Excuse me, $1.50 a pound. Now I bought it for 99 cents a pound.
Wow.
So, it's really it's where you live, and the farther I've been all over this country, and I drive. I don't like to fly, and
yeah,
I don't fly. And so the thing is that it becomes very difficult once you get out of Colorado, cruising into a store and really picking up things that, things that you can pick up organically. So a lot of times when I travel with food in the cooler, juices, things to juice. I'll buy those off the shelf, organic, non-GMO juices, but they really don't have the enzyme power that they do when they're fresh made. And that's true with even being at home. Never juice more than what you're really going to use up within the next couple of hours, ideally. I only juice what's going to be consumed at that moment, so that all of its enzymes are the level of enzymes.
So now, if you're going with organic foods, you don't need the food enzymes,
well, if you have a raw food diet and they're organic foods, and you're lightly steaming them, or you're having them raw, or you're juicing them, they have their enzymes present. But like I said, even if you've got organic broccoli and you forget about it and you steam it to death and it's mush, you've killed the enzymes that are in it.
Okay, so and the majority of people will go to that point unless they're really, focused.
Right.
So I mean,
exactly.
A regimen of enzymes is almost sounding like it would be beneficial for everybody if they're not in that lifestyle of organic eating or juicing.
Right. If you don't eat organically, or if you eat organically once in a while, but if predominantly you have a lot of meat in your diet, a lot of root vegetables, vegetables that grow beneath the ground, you're really going to need, like a food enzyme to take. The animal protein, you're going to need some extra hydrochloric acid to break that down. And we'll talk a little more about that. So the observation with the medical doctors, kind of back to that, is they, I've mentioned to doctors before about taking enzymes, and they just it's kind of the roll the eyes thing. It's like, it's just crazy. But, you stop and think about all of the issues that they have a problem with, mainly with people is the, the GERDs and the acid reflux, the, stomach cancer, ulcers. So there's a lot of times there's other things that I think they just kind of forget about, the sections of the stomach and really how people can feel when they're not producing enough enzymes. So and those come from from the stomach, the stomach wall. And so with the average American diet, the food is totally devoid of its live enzymes. And a lot of people gulp food down so quickly, it barely has any time to mix with the, salivary glands. This gives a very distorted view on how the digestive process really should work. And, it has a profound implications for the understanding of the digestive process and the things that can go wrong with it, all of which, we can talk about some other things here that will help you to understand what happens to that stomach when you do things like that to it. So.
Oh, I got to laugh because my wife will tell you, I still got the military in me as far as that goes. You get in there, you eat, and get out.
You eat and get out. Eat and get out. So, and that's amazing, too, because as lean as you are, to kind of... So he's saying he wolfs his food down. So for now, I just want you to understand that the food moves through the divisions of the stomach sequentially. Among other things, this allows us to consume, more than the intestines are ready for at one time. So the divisions allow us with that the bottom part of the stomach to hold that there longer and release that slowly into the small intestine. So in the layers of the stomach, the outer layer of the stomach is called the cirrhosis, and its primary purpose is to carry blood through the vessels and to protect the stomach. The stomach is supplied by an extremely rich supply of blood vessels. Just under the cirrhosis are the layers of muscles that are they're long, they're circular, the longitudinal, the circular, the obliques. These muscles allow the stomach to bend and twist and to fold in almost any direction. And when you combine all that motion with the folds in the interior of the stomach, it's easy to see how the stomach can easily grind food down and totally mix it up with, any digestive enzymes and juices that are present. One layer that we need to talk about is the thick plush layer of the mucosa cells that line the stomach cavity. And it has deep clefts that increase the stomach surface area considerably. So there's 4 different types of mucosa cells as well. So you've got the epithelial cells that they'll cover the surface of the stomach, and it also fills up and covers over any gastric pits. Specifically, the mucosal neck cells are the most numerous cells in the stomach. And they function as glands, and they produce a thick glycoprotein, which is sugar and protein together, mucus. And what that does is it's kind of greasy, and it touches and coats everything that comes into the stomach. It protects the stomach wall from autodigestion, kind of that feeling that you get when you chew too much gum, that the stomach's going to digest itself, So it's this the epithelial cells that are responsible for keeping and coating in this glycoprotein that literally protects the wall of the stomach. So any defects in the glycoprotein covering leads to erosions. And with those erosions, you end up with the ulcers and autodigestion of the stomach wall. There's cells that specifically produce the hydrochloric acid. And without hydrochloric acid, you're not able to absorb B12. So, the thing is that, I meet these people all the time that they're on B12 shots or they take B12 sublingually under the tongue.
Uh-huh.
And the thing is if your body is not producing B complex, if you're not making B12, you've got a problem with probiotics, with good bacteria in the gut, in your digestive tract. So anybody that has ever come to me over the years with a B12 problem, that is specifically a problem with not having enough good bacteria. So by doing like probiotic 11, taking 4 of those before you go to bed on an empty stomach. Do that. Allow, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours to be in the gut and culture and do what it needs to do. And you bring that good bacteria level up, you will start absorbing. Your body, the digestive tract, will make B complex, and you'll absorb that B12 and the other Bs as well. So you need hydrochloric acid as well to help with the absorption of that. Now, another thing that helps with hydrochloric acid, if you're low on hydrochloric acid, and say you're under age 35, a lot of times I personally don't like to recommend enzymes to anyone that is under 35 unless they have dealt with a degenerative disease. Then I'll put them on something like food enzymes. Otherwise, we try to do things, to just work with the stomach, to build it up so that it functions again on its own. That's what you want to achieve. Enzymes, unfortunately, if you're over 35 and or dealt with a degenerative disease, you start taking enzymes in and your stomach will get lazy. It doesn't need to. It's kind of like the glandulars, and we'll talk about those when we get to the endocrine system. But, you can take these things in, and what ends up happening is then that particular system doesn't have to function because you're taking it in. It has it.
So, like a 50-some-odd-year-old person would be...
Enzymes. Give him enzymes.
So, right, because more than likely his system hasn't completely diminished, but probably is on its way to...
That's correct.
Okay.
So one of the things that helps to release hydrochloric acid in the stomach is ginger. So, that's one of those times if you're, it's summertime and you're going to a pig roast. What are you going to do? It's like everybody wants to go and everybody wants to go have a good time and, make yourself some ginger tea. Make sure that, about 15 minutes before you sit down to eat, you have some more of that ginger tea. And what that does is that releases hydrochloric acid into the stomach so that hydrochloric acid and that pepsin can break down all that cooked.
So that would be the
protein.
One time that you would go ahead and drink before your meals, and it
about 15 minutes, before. You just want to drink or make yourself some ginger tea.
Okay.
And bring that with you and drink that down so that you've got, because what's going to happen is, it's a lot of times in, situations like that, boy, when they put that spread out there with all that food, you don't want to go to too many of those during the summertime because you always tend to eat a whole lot more food than you normally would, and you certainly eat food that you'd never eat at home, at least,
But it looks so good.
My career, but it all looks so good. And then you got, indigestion because of, eating too much, and or with fluids, but I won't drink the pop. I just won't do that. So, okay, so the chief cells, that's another lineup of cells within that stomach, in the layers of the stomach. They're called chief cells. And what they do